Thank you, Hans, for joining us. So let's start with volume growth. Yeah. So volume growth will be driving GAB's business in the next 1 year because you're not allowed to increase prices due to the Anti-Profiteering Act. So what is GAB doing to ensure that it actually continues to see the volume momentum that it wants?
Moving forward, volume will be tough still. Although it normalizes, it will be tough. In other words, our input costs are under a little bit of pressure. Could we potentially raise our price? We just don't think that's the right thing to do because we could argue margin protection, but let's stay away from that. What we need to do as a business to continue to grow in F16 is to get volumes back to normal. At the same time, we have to look at mix, but selling more Heineken, selling more Guinness, which is not we don't love the Tiger brand, but selling more premium product adds more value to the same volume that we're selling. That's one. And secondly, cost management. Away from A&P, we believe in sustainable business, so our A&P spend will not change into F16. But what we do have a look at in terms of efficiencies is our other non-consumer facing, non-customer facing overheads costs. How with the same sort of volumes and revenues, but maybe with slightly more premium and with slightly less costs, how we can create a sustainable, profitable business.
No doubt by focusing on premium, you can actually protect your margins in that way. But I would like to actually zoom in on managing costs, because managing costs is crucial, especially now in an environment where consumers are more cautious. But could you give us a gauge on your cost measures? I mean, of course, you're not going to cut down on A&P, but what about, are you implementing any hiring freeze, for example, or within your production?
In this business, because we've done well, for more than a decade, we've done well. If you have a growing business, this is not about complacency, but this is how it normally works. We might, at times, have a little bit too much fat in the organization. So we're trying to deal with that without going dramatic. If you talk about hiring freeze and that sort of things, no, we're not.
Okay, so what are the other fats in the organization that you mean that you could actually trim down?
You talked supply chain, and this is partly the overheads, but also the way we manage our cost of goods sold, so our input costs, and where can we be smart. So you retain the quality of the product, but is there other ways to deal with your suppliers? Is there smarter ways to interact and get cost efficiencies? The other thing is the way we operate in the market. Now, we run a relatively fragmented business, 26,000 outlets, the majority of outlets in traditional on-trade. Very time consuming. We've got a massive sales force, we got more than 40 distributors, so there is a lot of optimization that we can do.
So consumers today have many choices, and given GAB's range of product portfolio mix, right? So how does it continue to remain relevant? Like you mentioned, innovation. So would there be any new products or variants coming up?
There will be. For the beer business in general, these are complex but also fun times. We have a consumer, a next generation consumer that thinks, acts, behaves quite different. If you dissect consumer behavior a little bit, then what you're seeing is trading up and trading down. So trading up very much premium, super premium, craft. Trading down, the things we've done with Anchor. Why is Anchor the fastest growing brand in our portfolio at the moment? Because it's a brand with legacy, but it's also price positioned